guys.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. So, Assassin's Creed 4, the movie.
Yeah. I think it's one of the best games. Have you played the new one?
Yeah.
I started to play the new one, but they changed all the controls, and then I couldn't get into it, and I still haven't completed Black Flag, you know. So I was like, I should probably stick with that one for a while.
Well, I think you already know the ending.
I do know the ending.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, first of all, my friend Mila loves you. Just want to put that out.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And second of all, having played this character for quite a while now, talk a bit about the process of putting him in this standalone animated series.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time that I think it's done and I put into bed, they keep on bringing me back into something else in a different medium, you know. And it's great. I love the character so much, and it's great to be able to play him in all these different stories across all these different mediums, interacting with all these different characters. You know. What's great about this animated series, City of Demons, is I think it's a real character-driven piece, and it's taken from the comic book All His Engines. You know, it's loosely adapted from that, but you know, it is a real character-driven piece, and we get to see John, John and Chaz's friendship. Kind of, it really delves into that, and the backstory of John as well. So it really is a kind of proper Constantine kind of character-driven piece, and I thought the writing was great, and I really enjoyed doing it, and it's quite gory as well.
Yes.
You know, it was like, yeah, it was proper like comic book John Constantine. So it's great.
So since this is a very different Chaz, does this mean this is a Constantine of a different Earth than the NBC series?
I think, you know, as with everything in the DC universe, and, you know, there's so many iterations of the characters in the comic books, and I think that the DNA of the character is the same, you know, and I think that whatever story we are telling, you know, you have to serve that story per se, but yeah, I mean, I think that the DNA of the character pretty much, for me, since I started doing the character, it's pretty much been the same, even though there are these different storylines, and they could be different timelines as well, but I try not to confuse myself with it. I'm just like, he's John. Just stick to John. You know?
So you treat him more like Doctor Who-ish. He's a fixed point in time.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, unless they really change something about his backstory, then, you know, he's pretty much the same character.
I have a couple of friends that have theories on your coat length. So.
Oh yeah, well the coat length has actually been the same in all the live action stuff, apart from the last episode of the Constantine series, where I had spoke to Daniel Cerrone and talked to him about getting a longer coat like the comics, and we've been talking about it for like weeks, and eventually they made me one, but then they didn't pick up the back nine, and we were going to introduce the coat in some fun way, you know. But and I was just like, I think it was Daniel's idea to go, just wear it for the last scene, you know, just wear it for the last scene, and I think it worked really well.
With you doing all these new Constantine projects and possibly Legend Season 4 if it's picked up, is there any hope that we might see Chaz and Zed again?
You know, I never say never in this business. I mean, look, I'm still here, and I think it was 4 years ago when I was shooting the pilot, you know, so never say never, but I'm always the last person to know about these things, you know.
So you have been playing this character for a long time. At this point, how much of the character's personality is just part of your personality?
I'm not as much as a bastard as John is. No. It's funny because each time I put him down, I thought it's over. And the hardest bit that I've ever had was going to Legends of Tomorrow, because I just finished doing a play in London, and I was playing this Yorkshireman in pre-industrial Britain, and the accent was really, really thick. And it wasn't so dissimilar to what I do with John, but it was proper Yorkshire, so it was a different kind of cadence. And when I started to work on the script for Legends, the character that I'd just been playing was there. And I was like, where's John? Where's John? So I had to go back and like watch a little bit of the series, and then get my comics out, get all my notes out and stuff. And I spent about like 4 or 5 days just like trying to shed the other character and get back into John, and then it's funny though, it's every time I put the trench coat on, there's just like this swagger that comes with it, you know. And I can remember like watching the TV show again to try and get into it, going, what am I doing? Like, what is that walk? It's like, how did you get that? And it's obviously from the comics, but he has a hell of a strut. Do you know what I mean? So I think that those things are John, and they're definitely not me.
So is there a difference from being famous in England versus like being nerd famous in America? Like,
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I think that there's a lot more fans of Constantine over here than there are in the UK. But I think that's maybe because it only aired on Amazon over there or something. But
So, like, if you were ever on Top Gear, just trying to explain Constantine to the British audiences.
yeah, I don't know if they get it as much as you guys over here get it. Yeah.
Do you feel as kind of a bit annoyed as me that, you know, whenever Constantine tries to smoke or lights up, he gets, you know, prevented because of the restrictions?
Yeah, it is funny, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's the modern day. It'd be interesting to see kind of what we do with that on Legends if the show gets picked up, you know. But he is a smoker. But, you know, maybe he should have a vape or something. You know, it is 2018. Come on.
I agree.
Do you have a different approach to doing Constantine, just the voice, as compared to, you know, putting on the trench coat and doing the acting? You know,
no, it's pretty much the same mentally. I mean, physically, it's slightly different. You know, doing it in civilian clothes, you suddenly feel like, whoa, this doesn't feel right. You know, where's the loose tie and the trench coat? But after a while, it always clicks in. I was thinking about wearing a trench coat in the booth actually, because I stole a trench coat from the original show. I stole like a whole costume from the original show and a lighter. So I was thinking about wearing it, but I didn't in the end. If I do another one, I think I'll wear the trench coat. Like,
If you could redo any other Keanu Reeves movie,
I wouldn't do any, man. That guy's amazing. Like, have you seen John Wick 2? He kicks ass, man. He kicks ass. I gotta say, The Matrix is one of my favorite films. I must have watched that film when it came out like about 20 times, you know, in a row. Yeah, it's great.
Who would win in a fight, your Constantine or his?
Oh, I'd have to say mine. No, I think with his skills, he could probably do me in. Yeah.
Alright, hopefully no one's getting in fights.
Yeah.
On that note,
That's great.
let's move to the next
Thank you, guys. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Mike.